Are you looking for a fresh cut in Westerly? Step into Rio's Barber Shop in Granite Plaza. Whether it's a classic trim or a trendy new look, we've got you covered. Experience the perfect cut for every age and style in a friendly and relaxed atmosphere. At Rio's, it's not just a haircut, it's an experience. Visit Rio's Barber Shop in the Granite Plaza in Westerly or give us a call to schedule your appointment at 401-315-2208. Your style, our craft, Rio's Barber Shop.
It is opening day for Major League Baseball, and in the chair across from me today, we have not only an incredible community small business owner, but we also have the father of the Division II Player of the Year for baseball last year, Jeff Miner. How are you?
Wow. I'm good. Thanks for having me. This is exciting.
Big accolades right there.
Can't beat this. I know.
Wow.
I know.
I didn't realize that.
Yeah. Well,
Nice.
you got to give him credit for his son's accomplishments.
Oh, yes. We kind of talked
That's-
about Zach a little bit.
That's-
And I think we'd be remiss if we didn't say the program.
oh my God, go ahead.
He hates it.
Do it. Go ahead. And do
Today's program is Community Insights, also known as CI. The CI.
it. I'm going to go.
All
I
right.
heard-
We
I
have
heard all about that.
we have a lot on the plate today.
We got a lot.
to talk about because I wanted to start off and ask a question to Jeff that I knew the answer, that I know the answer to. I think I do. I'd be shocked if I didn't. But if I had to ask Jeff his favorite sport, what would it be?
Oh, you know the answer.
Hands down, right?
Hands down. Today's the day.
Yeah.
Today is the day. It's a start anew. You know, the grass is green. Everyone's zeros.
Yeah, exactly.
Everyone's got a shot.
Is the season too long?
No way.
Okay. You're an enthusiast. You're
Yep.
you're a traditionalist.
Yep.
Playoff structure, the way it is right now, is fine or could be better.
I don't know. I think it's fine. I like the way they incorporated it last year. I think they added a couple more teams. No, I like it.
Okay. I'm with you there. All right. I want to get into where you're from, what you've done.
Well, hey,
and-
while we're doing baseball, let's just end
Yeah.
it with this. Let's go back to high school baseball. Actually, let's go to high school soccer for a second
Here we go.
because well, no, because last year the girls soccer team went undefeated and captured the Division II state championship and moved up to Division I and then went to the
We're
state
talking
championship.
Westerly?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Westerly Bulldogs, and
Yeah.
then went to the state championship again. This year, or last year, Division II state champ Westerly Bulldog baseball team, again with your son, player of the league. They're moving up to D1.
Mm.
Mhm.
You think that they can do what the girls did and make it back to the show?
As a pure optimist, absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, yeah. I mean, do they
Anything
have
can
a
happen.
shot? Yeah. I mean, everyone's got a shot. Everyone can do it. Can they do it? In my heart, yeah, I'd love to see them do it. I think it'd be Cinderella.
Yeah.
Is it going to be tough for them? Absolutely. There's some powerhouses in D1
For sure.
for sure. You know. But,
All right. Well, we'll see.
we'll see.
We'll see. And we'll see starting on April 5th. So, all right, let's get into the business.
Yeah, well, business first for me is I learned, actually, I didn't know where Jeff went to school, went to high school. So why don't you start us off there, Jeff?
All right. Let's see. Graduate, Stonington High, 92.
He's a bear.
I'm a bear. I'm a transplant.
Yeah, because he's a Westerly guy.
All the way
Westerly,
across
yeah.
He's
the
a taxpayer.
all the way across the river.
Yeah, all the way over there. You know, what drove me to this side of the river? I mean, does it matter nowadays? I mean, it doesn't really matter. But
It really doesn't.
you know,
it used to be more potent in our day.
yeah, it was.
It was like,
yeah,
oh,
right over
bringing
here,
kids from
every
Stonington.
Thanksgiving, you know,
Yeah, kids
I'll
from
meet you in the park.
Stonington. Yeah, right. Exactly. I love it.
You know, I mean, what drove me over here was taxes, really. I mean, I'm not going to lie. That's what it was.
Huh.
You know, and there were a little bit at the time, there were more houses available over here.
Okay.
So we moved to Wesley. My wife still bleeds brown. I'm more on the bluer side of life nowadays with 3 kids.
So your
in the
wife's a
system.
Stonington Bear as well.
Class of 91. Yeah.
So you're older. You're like me. Our wives are a year older. Okay, so living in Westerly, but your wife is still rooting diehard Stonington
for the most part.
as far as like the
Yeah,
Thanksgiving
yeah,
Day
yeah,
game
yeah,
and
yeah,
stuff.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
How about yourself? Having a son that's gone through it now, would you like who are you rooting for Thanksgiving Day game?
Oh, I got to go Western.
Really? Why do you say you have
Well,
to?
I have to. I got 3 kids that went through Wesley High.
Yeah, that's like how
My
Gary
phone's gonna
Mansfield
start
says.
blowing up here any minute. I can feel it.
Right. Well, Gary Mansfield is a bulldog, but he lives in Bear territory, and his kids went to Stonington, and he legitimately roots for Stonington. So he does what you do, but just reversed.
Yeah.
To me, it would be my allegiance where I graduated would be, but I guess when you have kids and you're rooting for your kids and everything like that. Okay.
I don't know.
Tell us about what you do, and as far as professionally, your expertise at the time when you started and things like, how do we get into doing what you're doing? Because a lot of people don't know what you do right now.
Well, I started over in Stonington, 91, I think. At the time, the high school had on-the-job training program.
Okay.
And I got a job at a small print shop over there in high school and then throughout. And, whatever it's been, 30 years, 35 years, here I am.
And, well, when you say here I am, you are the proprietor of Coastal Graphics.
I am.
So, there's a lot to be said for that, you don't just open up a shop and
turn the key,
because there's some expertise and skill involved.
Yeah. I started Coastal Graphics for just over 4 years ago. February 15th, I think, was the actual day I turned the key.
21.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And it's been amazing. It really has.
Yeah.
I enjoy what I do. I enjoy working with people. I enjoy, working in the community.
Yeah.
I do a lot of work, for sports teams, because that's my passion. It doesn't matter whether it's baseball, football, soccer, lacrosse.
Right.
I just, I just like doing it.
Yeah, I'm with you.
And all the connections through the Little League, coaching down there, being on the board all those years.
So
it's come back. People realize that, and they want to. I think people generally want to help. They see someone start a business or
yeah,
like
I would agree with you.
Come back
Definitely,
they want to support.
Yeah, for sure, absolutely. The true, genuine people out there. You want to help everybody.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
There's going to be people that are trying to step over people to get ahead, but we're not talking about that. And I don't think predominantly you see that. But tell us as far as Coastal Graphics, because you could have 100 people watching thinking you do 100 different things, which you may do. Tell us what you do primarily.
Primarily, I do a lot of vehicle wraps.
Okay.
I do a lot of vehicle lettering.
When you say vehicle wraps, talk to us about that.
So vehicle wraps, that multiple facets of that. You can do a color change. So, for instance, if you had a white car and you wanted to make it blue, we could take a wrap, make your car blue.
Really?
If you wanted to do an advertising wrap for 321, we could design a wrap.
So a contractor or whatever, pickup truck or whatever.
Absolutely, yeah.
Oh, nice.
We've done a fair amount of what I call advertising wraps, which would be most recent one we did the Vetrano's pizza truck.
Oh, right. Time Mark. Was it?
Yeah. Mark up there. We wrapped that. We also did, which was right up my alley.
It's a gorgeous looking truck, by the way.
Thanks. Yeah. That was a good one. We did a pizza truck for the Worcester Bravehearts.
The Worcester Bravehearts.
Wow.
I assume baseball?
Baseball. It's the New England Collegiate Baseball.
Okay.
Same league as the Schooners plays in.
Okay.
So
they're transportation type thing, or their bus or whatever it is.
Yeah, it was a giant pizza truck, and we wrapped the whole thing in their colors, and that was fun. That was a fun project.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Well, you did the Wesley High School.
I did the Bulldog bus
as well. That was
That's
nice.
so cool.
Yeah,
that one
the Bulldog bus is great.
And that gets exposure.
That was that one was really cool because of the timing of it. It was right before Thanksgiving Day game.
Okay.
That was the goal, was to unveil it.
Yeah.
and we got it done. We got it ready. They picked it up. I think it was the day of the rally.
Oh boy, that's
And
great.
the story is they actually did hot laps around the school with the bus, blasting the horn, and then they parked it. I think they parked it up in like the bus loop or the quad or something like that, and unveiled it. That was a really cool.
Okay, so wraps is car wraps, so to speak.
Car wraps, vehicle lettering. So if you just wanted to do, put your name on the door or something along that line.
Not as intricate as a wrap, so to speak, but you want to have your business name on it or something.
We do a lot of those. We do digital printing. So, flyers, broshures, business cards, envelopes, all that kind of stuff.
Because that's still,
still there.
Yeah,
it's still there.
Right. For sure.
And then we also do, which is a newer line. We made an investment and we're bringing in silk screening.
Silk screening.
So, t-shirts, sweatshirts.
Okay.
Any stuff like
screen printing, I would assume that's what we're talking about. But you said silk.
Silk is the screen.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, so that's what it's on.
Yeah. By the way, Tom Foley was in here earlier, and he had a request that we make a T-shirt that says "Welcome to Bungtown." It was a history show, and on Main Street there used to be a section of Main Street back in the 1800s called Bungtown.
Bung.
Yeah, it was this
for barrels. Like
yeah. It was like where you would go get your rum and whiskey and stuff.
No kidding.
And I mean, we had a ton of inappropriate laughs around Bungtown, but yeah, he was like, we gotta get T-shirts made that says "Welcome to Bungtown," and I was like, well, Jeff's coming in later. We'll talk to him about it.
I love it. That's awesome,
Jeff. From my understanding, the silk printing, screen printing, so to speak, screen printing. That's one of the newer additions.
It is, yeah. So
it's really not new because you've been doing a while, but that's one of the newer.
Yeah, it's been about a year, I guess. Really, that I've really kind of, pushed into the middle and went all in.
Are you getting customers from businesses, individuals, a municipality type thing with school systems?
A combination of everything.
Okay.
It's one of those things where I kind of wanted to ease into it.
Yeah.
I didn't want to go, full bore right off the get. But it's nice having it there in the facility because people come in and they pick up their cars or they pick up
and they see
whatever and they see it and they go, oh, you do shirts too.
Yeah.
And it's just another avenue that I can offer.
So you'll entertain a customer coming in to say, oh, geez, you know what? Could you do 50 T-shirts for me? This is the print or whatever.
Yeah.
Or would you rather have something is there like a minimum order type thing?
I've done as little as one.
Here's your T-shirt. We don't want to get into that though.
People think I'm crazy, but that's kind of how I got into it.
Yeah. Okay.
I started out in direct to garment printing, which is basically you're actually physically printing on a shirt. It's a machine that does it.
Oh, okay. So it's not a screen printing.
It's not screen. It's just
like a digital.
It's a digital. Yeah, it's a digital print that goes directly onto the garment.
Okay.
That was like right after I opened, so it was still coming off COVID.
Yeah.
The big push was a lot of at-home businesses because people were locked up and they needed something to do. So they're like, "Hey, let's try this. Let's try that. Let's do this. Let's do that." So I got a machine and used it and worked it, and then that kind of transitioned into other avenues of garment decorating.
Okay,
and that's how I ended up where I'm at now.
Okay, so I'm kind of intrigued here because we have the screen printing aspect, which is pretty traditional, pretty understandable.
Right.
But if someone comes in and says, would there be a way why they would say, I want to do it digitally, or I would want to do it from the computer? It comes
down to cost, really.
Okay. That's probably more expensive.
What your minimums are, it takes a lot to set up for a job of sweatshirts or T-shirts, whatever it may be.
Screen printing
wise, you got to print the film, you got to burn the screen, you got to develop the screen. So there's a lot of steps, a lot of man hours involved.
Okay.
To justify doing 12 shirts that way is very economical.
Right.
You're crazy.
Yeah.
basically.
Right. 'Cause
So
yeah.
so I realized that there was a need to be filled there. So I said, well, let me try the direct to
Oh,
garment.
so you can do that more cost effectively for the customer.
Right. And that's actually transition. I've actually gone away from that now, but that's how I got my inroads into the garment decorating
Okay.
side.
So a
of-
guy says, I want 15 shirts screen printed. You're like, oh, you know what? You might want to go
there's
this
avenues.
avenue.
There's avenues where you can kind
Yeah.
of say, you know, to keep the cost, you know, because at the end of the day, you know, any small business, you're competing with companies online,
Of course.
which are tough.
Yeah.
They're tough to, you know,
Yeah.
it's tough to compete with someone who has the buying power,
Yeah.
and is, you know, producing 100,000 pieces a day.
No, exactly.
You know,
Absolutely.
So you try and come up with the best solution possible for the customer, and that customer fluctuates. you know?
Right. Well, I think what you've soon realized, Jeff, is that as you have been who you are as a person and using your expertise, people are now saying, well, geez, I'd rather deal with business coastal graphics than going all over the place and, you know, dealing with an 800 number or
Right.
going online. So I
right.
think that component certainly, you know, in my personal opinion, I said, Jeff, can you do that? Yeah, all right, I'll have it done for you, no problem. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
As opposed to me having to go online and get it. Oh, I saved $14 or something.
Yeah. But you pay 28 shipping.
Yeah, right, exactly. So that's good, Jeff. You know what I mean, in that respect. So you kind of have developed a niche on both things that we've talked about thus far,
Yeah.
and we haven't even talked about the traditional business yet of printing, because you'll still do work for like maybe architectures, doing
Oh, yeah,
plans and
yeah,
stuff like
yeah,
that,
yeah.
and your traditional manuals that a company may need or something to print up. You'll do that as
Yeah,
well.
yeah.
So things seem to be moving in the right direction, so to speak. Is printing still the traditional printing still the main plug, or is it tough to say now?
Well, it's tough to say, really.
Because what's come through the door.
I mean,
you know?
a lot of it. When I originally opened, I thought, oh, that's going to be
Your bread and butter?
the bread and butter, but it hasn't. It quickly switched
Right.
over to, you know, signs and graphics and, you know, that side of the business.
Yeah.
But it's kind of it's an ebb and flow. I mean, some days you get it where, you know, or a week, if you take a week and you know, it's all signs, or it's all with a couple
Right,
things,
right.
and then it goes and then it transitions
Yeah,
over to
the ebbs and flows
it
of
just
whatever.
it
Right.
just, you know,
Yeah.
interweaves, and you just kind of go ride the wave and navigate, and you know. But I would say, you know, the majority of it, you know, the pie chart per se, you
Yeah.
know, it's probably signs and
Right.
vehicles and stuff like that.
And when you say signs, would it be something like a business sign that we see out there?
Some kind of business sign, whether it's a light box,
Okay.
or a you know, aluminum sign, facade sign,
Okay.
or you know,
Against the
freestanding
building or
against
whatever
the
too. Yeah,
building,
all right,
or
got
you
you.
know, post where it needs to have,
Yeah.
you know, post and, you know,
Okay.
anchored in, and so on and so forth.
So that's a specialty that you offer as
yeah,
well.
I mean, I don't know if you consider it a specialty. It just goes along with
Right.
the avenue. you
But that's you know, these are things that we're talking about here, Jeff, that you know, you printed up the guy 10 manuals or 100 manuals, whatever he needed, and now he realizes you do all these other things that
Yeah.
he may not have known.
know. Exactly.
This is a
Exactly.
great forum for our audience to say, oh geez, I'm going to table that one. I didn't realize that was the case, that he, you know. And it seems that when you said vehicle wraps, you kind of lit up a little bit about that, because it's something,
Yeah.
you know, more artistic. You know what I mean? You kind of like that aspect of it, you know.
It's pretty cool when you can take just anything, you name it, whatever it is, and you can personalize it to whatever you want.
Right.
You know.
Yeah.
And here's a prime example is, you know, my daughter just got a car,
Mhm.
and she had an eye on the car, and she loved it.
She had a what in the car?
An eye, and she was like, "That's the car I want." Dad."
Okay. Oh, an eye on it. She
An
wanted
eye.
this car. Yeah. Okay.
And so yada yada yada, contemplating, went back to get the car sold.
Ooh.
Wrong color. But I have this model over here. It's identical. Colors change. I said, "Oh, I can wrap it." Okay. So we wrapped her car.
And the thing
And
is,
we
you
made it
can't
look-
tell, right?
You can't tell. She actually, unfortunately, she got hit.
Oh no.
Yeah, she got hit. Go figure. And she had it repaired up at Styles.
Right.
And they did a tremendous job with it. And
What
they-
does Styles do? Because he's a spray guy.
Well, it's funny you say that. Well, here goes back to the whole paint wrap thing.
Yeah.
Is they came out and they're like, "Oh, that's a wrap."
Right.
They're like, "Wow, nice job," you know.
Right, yeah.
Wow, that's really amazing,
Yeah.
you know. And
And you're like, thank you.
yeah, even the paint guy was like, "Wow, that's really nice," you
Yeah.
know. And so, you know, long story short, she didn't get the exact color that she wanted, but you know, we were able to find a color that was really, really close to what she wanted and wrapped it. And it's
all right,
great.
so the whole wrap came off when she had the
well, she got
accident?
hit in the front bumper, so
So you had to
redo-
take everything off?
Right.
Is that a
It's-
pain in the neck now to do that?
It can be.
Yeah,
It
I
can
can
be.
imagine. It's
Can
not
be.
going to be the easiest thing,
Right.
you know?
Fortunately, they did that in the whole repair. That was all part
Right,
of the
which
repair.
is good. Yeah.
But yeah, you know, so now she's driving around with a two-tone car because you got to let the paint kind of gas and harden and do its thing before you can wrap it. So,
Oh, right. Okay. Yeah. You
So
can't
next,
just do it
next
right
week it's
away.
coming in and getting fixed, and it'll be
Oh, nice.
one color.
Now I am an idiot and I scraped up the side of my door
Mm-hmm.
like a dummy because I live on a main road now, and there's like stone pillars on either side of my driveway that are not like I didn't put them there. They're like for the town. And I was I was backing out, and a tractor trailer truck came driving through, and I tried to get back in real quick, and I just scraped
Oh.
the side of my door. Now I know that I should have at some point taken that to an auto body shop and just gotten it fixed because it's a scrape and it's like it's down in there a little bit. Could I just get the whole thing wrapped and cover that up?
Well, you
Or-
could.
The
you
dent's
could,
still going to show,
but the
though.
dent and the scratch is still going to show.
There's
Just-
no, yeah,
The
there's no
scratch
dent.
might not, right? Because you're wrapping
It
it.
depends how deep it is. If
Okay.
it's just like a surface,
Yeah.
usually they'd
But
kinda
the
hide
dent,
it.
the
But
dent,
the dent
still
you'll see the dent. There's
I'll just cut. How inexpensive? I'm not how inexpensive. How stupid it would. I'm like, oh, let me just change my car color every year or so with the same car.
I mean,
You're like,
could.
I don't. You're like, I'm not going to tell you not to do it. Come on in. Haley Carmela says, "Hey Jeff, we've got some love going on here. Tom Foley, all about Westerly. Will A. Donk, Michael Christopher, Albert De Joseph or De Jesus.
See, we got some action here.
There you go.
People
Got some
love Jeff.
action. People are coming up
People love
coastal
Jeff.
graphics.
People love
Holding
Jeff.
signs up.
Yeah.
Hey.
Um,
Okay, so just to get back real quick to the Styles situation.
Yeah.
They allowed it to be wrapped or rewrapped the other car, or the car stayed wrapped where it was, and then the
They-
section that was damaged,
They removed
They-
the part that was damaged.
and they painted it.
Mhm.
And then you're just waiting for the paint to dry
So
and
to
do its
harden
thing,
to do
and then
its
you'll
thing.
take the same color.
we just got a comment. I thought Liz's car looked a little bit off when I saw her.
Well, hey, now you know. Now you know. But that's the thing that I did not know was that Tymark Vitranos that's parked up there on Cross Street Extension, if you will, is a wrap.
Yeah.
It's not
Yeah.
painted.
Yeah, that's
That
a
all
wrap.
that red and everything
that whole red is a wrap.
is a wrap.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's great.
That's the way to do it, man. With the food trucks and stuff, like that's all.
When you remember, you're probably too young.
I don't
then.
remember anything.
The yellow pages,
Oh yeah,
right?
gotcha.
So when businesses way back when, not that I'm old or anything, but
Right.
I mean they paid a lot of money to
Crazy.
be in a book that was closed.
yeah.
Never, unless you
Yeah.
were looking for that business.
But
Why would you
that's
go in
how
there?
but that's how open it was getting. You know what I mean? Back
Right,
in the day.
right. So now you take that same philosophy and you throw it on a wrap. And think about this: if you were to start at the high school, drive all the way down to Airport Road, right?
Mhm.
Any given day, any given time, how many eyeballs do you pass? How
Right,
many eyeballs?
Right.
do
Oh,
you
that
see?
will see that vehicle.
Right.
Your vehicle.
So if that wrap costs, argument to say, $3,000,
Yeah.
right, just for round numbers,
Mhm.
and you break that down per look, per person looking at that,
Yeah.
in that time it takes you to go from A to B, you paid for that.
If you are any sort of a if you're any sort of a trades business that has a truck and your truck is not wrapped and you do not and it's not an advertisement for your business, what are you doing? Like
Yeah.
it's the simplest first thing. When we were doing more marketing and less broadcasting, I would tell people all the time, like, you can have the greatest product in the world, but if you advertise it by sticking a flyer on your front door, like, no one's ever going to see it. You know what I mean? You have to put it, you at least in the 80s had to put the flyer in the mall. You know what I mean?
Right.
So to literally take the truck or the car or the van or whatever it is that you're using and making a billboard for your business every single day, like that's just the easiest no lose situation imaginable.
Right.
You need it because somebody's going to be driving by and go, oh, I need a roofing company. Oh crap, that's great. Yeah, I need a roofing company. Yeah, and there's one right there.
Yeah.
Or sometimes you're not even you're just like, I didn't know that service existed, and now I do. And now yours is or sometimes like your logo is really cool, so people know what it is, you know.
And then it goes into brand recognition and all that stuff, and then it just it all goes hand in hand.
You mean branding yourself personally?
Right,
Yeah.
right,
Even if you're Joe
colors,
Blow
logos.
contractor or whatever.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
if you look at Henderson Roofing,
Yeah, exactly. Oh, yeah.
I
Right.
mean,
He's developed his logo and that now you
I
recognize
see
it.
his trucks in it. I don't even have to read it,
Yeah,
see it.
the gray
It's
and then the red. Yeah.
silver and red. Oh, I know it's John.
Yeah.
I just know.
Yeah. No, right. Exactly. Exactly.
and that
That's a
he's
great
done
point.
a great job with that.
Yeah,
And that's,
yep.
if you can present yourself in the same way, multiple facets,
Yes.
then
Yeah, no,
it's
I love
just
that.
like any major brand,
For sure. For sure.
Yep. Yep. Absolutely.
yeah.
By the way, I literally just sent you files. I don't know if you saw the computer over there. I was like, while you're talking about signs, I have files I've been meaning to send you for someone for a little bit. Sorry.
Nice.
You can tell Caswell I did that.
Now, is there 100% walk-in, or is this stuff that it's done? You would.
Yeah, no, I mean, people. Let's face it, I'm off the beaten path. I mean, you've been to my.
I have.
You both have actually.
Yeah.
It's off the beaten path a little bit,
Mhm.
Which is good and bad.
Do we want to share with the
We
audience
can
where you
absolutely
are?
share, yeah,
Because
absolutely.
they can come in and just check it out, and they don't have to.
I
You know.
welcome.
There's
I
a
welcome
tiny
anyone.
path that you have to go down in the woods. And
Over
There's
the
a
bridge,
troll.
Yes.
there's
Yeah.
a troll you got to pay, and
Yep.
so on and so forth. No, I'm right at. It's kind of odd, but it's 83 Tom Harvey Road.
Mhm.
They consider it Tom Harvey, but it's actually Road A.
Is it Road A? It's not Road B.
It's Road A, which is the first one.
Right.
Um,
Coming from Airport Road.
coming from past the post
So,
office.
Just as you, I
Used to be the old Paragon building.
yeah, I was
Yeah.
just going to say that because a
Yeah.
lot of people would know it as the
if
old
anybody
Paragon
knows
building.
where Hazard Chocolates is,
That's Road B.
That's Road B.
okay, but it's back there.
It's
Yes.
in that.
Just
yeah.
go
But
back
it's
there and drive around.
The
until you
home
find
office
it.
of Best Eaton.
Some
Um,
people do.
I do. I do, and I've been there.
Right. Yeah. If you go to Road B, it's not going to be like at the end of the world to go turn around and get back.
Right.
But the you're at the end of the cul-de-sac, and it goes into a facility where there's a number of different bays in different businesses, I
Right.
think,
Yep.
as well. And-
EPS is there, and Strobes.
correct.
Strobes and More has their install
Correct.
bays down there and stuff. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
So that's you know what? Dan Schilke's business, the U.S. Extruders.
Yes, right.
Used to
behind
be
the
E.R. Smith.
E.R. Smith. Yeah.
So that's kind of, he used to be the end of the cul-de-sac. Now it continued into this this other area of buildings, and you're in there on the right.
Mhm.
There.
Haley
Yeah.
said you can get a cool view of the airport.
Yeah.
We are literally right on the tarmac.
Have you
It's
seen
fun.
anything crazy as far as airplanes or anything? Like, is this guy gonna crash here?
The first time the banners that they tow,
Oh, I can imagine.
the
that.
first time I saw that, I stopped, and it was like, all right, well, what's going on here?
Yeah.
They literally almost come in at a 90-degree angle
Oh, wow.
When they
to-
dropping
to-
it off.
to pick them up.
Oh, to pick them up.
So you see,
Oh,
this
so they're
plane-
already flying and they come by and scoop them up.
So
they're
they-
not taking off with it, right?
No. So that you see them take off and they make a big loop and they come around and they do it like my building is here, the next building, they're literally right behind the
Right.
building. So I see them take off and they do it in threes, which is really cool. Saturday morning, 9 a.m. If you're ever, during the summer, you want to check this out. It's really neat. They take off 1, 2, 3, and they make a big loop and you see them coming and all of a sudden they just start diving and it's almost, I don't know what it is
to pick up their banner.
to hit the line. So they come down and they disappear behind the building.
Right.
And then all of a sudden you hear the engines kick on. It's like, "Roar," and the thing comes up almost straight up, and there's a banner, and it's like, are you kidding me? And the first time I saw it, I was like, he's gonna crash.
Yeah. But the
What do I
drag
do?
on those things is amazing. You
It's
see them even on the
amazing.
beach. You're like, what? That thing looks like it's going 25 miles an hour.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's
we will
really
be down there to film that this summer. It won't be me because that'll give me a panic attack. But
Really, just watching it would?
just talking about it almost gave me a panic attack. Are you kidding me?
love it.
Paulie, I'm always on the edge of a panic attack. You know this. Okay.
Oh, I love it. I love it.
But that sounds incredible.
Jeff, that's neat. I love that. So,
That's cool.
so I forgot about that. The banners and stuff. I'm thinking, yeah, they're ready to take off, and then they scoop it and they grab it. And you're saying, no, they already took off and they're
They-
landing and
And
grabbing it.
there's this. It is really cool. There's a big wire. I don't even know how long it is
Yeah.
with like a turnbuckle
Yep.
on it, and they have the banner set up with two between two, whatever anchor points.
Yep.
And they come down, and that it just kicks it, and it hits
And locks it.
and locks it, and then they take off.
Yeah.
It really
No,
is.
thank you.
It's really neat.
And you said it goes straight up too.
It's almost they almost come straight up. With
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
It's pretty crazy.
because they don't want the thing dragging.
Right. They literally go. Whoop.
Wow.
It's
Yeah.
pretty cool.
Definitely get that on camera. I want to
Haley
see
said
that.
that she'll do it. She said it'll be part of her B-roll footage that she needs to get from Esquamacet this year.
There you go. Yeah.
All right. Anything upcoming, events, promotions, sales with the business community that you'd want to share or anything? Or
Not really. No, I mean,
Okay.
no. I mean, events coming up. We got the Luau coming up, which is great. It's a great event.
for the
On the 4th.
Musqueamicut Business Association.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's a week from Friday.
Friday, the 4th,
Week from tomorrow.
6:30, I think it is.
6:30. Yep.
6:30. Yeah, it's
Yep.
always a great event. That's fun.
Well, we
It's always
talked
cool.
about that because there was a conflict there with opening day. You know what I mean? As far as going to opening day, you can still watch the game because it's 2:10.
Yeah.
know,
My
so-
daughter, who goes to school in Boston, she wanted me to come up for
That's-
opening day at Fenway Park.
Yeah.
And I didn't tell you this because I forgot to tell you this. The only reason why she wanted me to come up is because she needed a ride home that night.
Is that what it was?
So there was a little kicker in there. you
right,
know.
there's an incentive.
There was an incentive for dad to come up to,
Right.
because I need a ride home.
Oh,
But that's
got it.
cool. It's all good. I love
right.
it.
That's all right. Though.
But then I realized it was the luau was that night. And I was
Yeah.
like, oh, I can't be in two places at once. So
Yeah. No.
Send the two-tone card up.
send it to
Right.
send up
Two-tone card.
Caitlin. Yeah.
Oh
do that.
gosh, that's funny.
Ah.
That's great. All right, so we have the business Coastal Graphics.
Yeah.
Would I see them on a basketball team, baseball team, a sponsor like a recreational team at all, or is that something?
Before he answers that question,
Mhm.
Coastal Graphics is the official post-game sponsor for all of Westerly High School sports coverage on
Ooh.
321.
Post game?
Post-game show.
Yeah.
Post-game
yeah.
show.
Yeah, I was excited for that one. But yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. I mean, I do a lot with the Little League. Sponsor the Little League down there.
Good.
So
So there's a Coastal Graphics team.
there
there was
is.
a-
I think they're in last year. I think they were in like instructional, which is really cool.
Okay.
Because that's where I cut my teeth in coaching was
Yeah,
instructional.
Yeah.
You're more like a sheep herder at that point.
right. No, for sure.
But
For sure.
but it's fun. I enjoy.
Is there a number of teams? How many? Because before it was so
Jeez.
bad at one point they had to go play Pawcatuck.
Yes. Yeah.
And that might have been your son's era,
just before.
just before your son. Okay.
Yeah, it was in that. It was
Okay.
Yeah.
But now they have teams where they're able to play each other and have a league that regular.
yes
Because we used to have two leagues in Westerly. Westerly
that was
National,
cool.
Westerly
Yeah, yeah.
American.
Yeah, I don't remember
Yeah.
that, but
Yeah.
yeah, they do a good job down there. It looks like they have a strong enrollment, which is great.
Good.
But but yeah, I enjoy youth sports.
Yeah.
I think it's a great avenue for kids. I think it's a great learning
Definitely.
for kids.
And it's fun.
And it's fun.
Yeah,
it's
fun.
fun.
And it's social for the parents, believe it or not.
It
'Cause
is.
You're watching
It
your
is.
kids play,
Yeah.
but you're next to so and so, whatever
Yeah,
that you don't
yeah.
normally see or whatever.
Right.
So that was always enjoyable to me.
Yeah.
That's why I bought a dog when my kids got older, so I could go out and see different people and stuff. Oh, let me pet the dog. Could care less about you. All right, so I'm really excited that Coastal Graphics is where it is right now, and you're not looking to stop, so to speak. As far as growth standpoint, you got you have your eye on anything in particular, or you don't want to get too bananas. Like, what are we looking as far as Coastal Graphics? Because
So
you've really expanded since you started.
yeah, I just took on another, I don't even know, 1,500 square feet
You did.
in December.
Is that
So
another bay?
Another bay.
Okay.
So, cut a nice big hole in the wall.
Yeah.
And so
Was that fun?
I-
You didn't get to do
I
it yourself, right?
didn't do it. It looked fun, but I didn't get to do it. Unfortunately. Yeah. So we expanded there.
Okay. So physically expanded.
physically expanded, and that was due to the bringing in the silk screening.
Yeah. Just because it takes up so much space.
It takes up so
Yeah,
much space.
right.
So that's, and it's ebb and flow down there right now. We're trying to, get the build out going, coordinate that, and figure out, because I want to do it once. I don't want to do it,
right.
and then redo it. Because then it's just, you're throwing money away at that point.
As far as building the inside. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Getting
Yeah,
everything
right,
situated
exactly.
where I want it.
Right.
And
And there's no time frame on it.
There
it's
is
just a
no
matter-
time
it's a
frame
matter
at
of
all.
doing it.
Yeah.
Which is good.
Yeah.
That was interesting to hear from me talking to you, and I've talked to you a number of times, but the car wrapping aspect. Hey, listen, you know what I mean? You got your heart set on this car, but you don't like the color. You know what I mean? There are other ways.
Yeah.
And you can maybe dice it up with a couple pinstripes and things.
Absolutely.
Doesn't have to get too crazy, you know
No.
what I mean, with a full wrap, you know what I
No.
mean? Could do some
You
detailing
can
in that respect.
certainly customize it to what you want, whether it's a pinstripe or
Can I get flames?
you can get flames if you want.
I just
Grease.
want, and I
Absolutely.
want everybody to call me Flash.
Yeah,
We can
that's
put-
lightning
That's
bolt.
from
right
your
down
good,
the
it's
side.
from
We'll
your
do
good man
lightning
Charlie
bolts.
Brown.
That's great. So a customer,
Yeah.
a potential customer,
Yep.
they'd love to get in touch with you. They don't want to drive down there and go see you. What's the best way to see what you offer in things?
Well, my website.
Okay.
You can hit that up, and that's linked to my email.
What's the website so we can tell the audience and get that?
CoastalGraphicsInc.com.
CoastalGraphicsInc.com.
Yep.
Okay.
Hey, click the link in the description of the show.
Yeah.
Or they can click the link.
Yeah. Great.
Facebook, Instagram. There's a lot of
Social
ton of
media.
Social
Okay.
media. There's a lot of stuff on there.
I just saw some police cars that you wrapped the other day.
I did
Those were awesome.
a pair for URI.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. Just finished those up a couple days ago, actually. Which is nice because with strobes being across the parking lot,
Yeah.
we kind of teamed up with them and able
Yeah.
to
Can you do
offer
this or
a
whatever?
one-stop
Yeah.
shop for the municipalities, and
Yeah. Because
so on
they
and so forth.
just do the lights, really.
Exactly.
You
They
know
do
what
all-
I mean?
which is incredible, the job that they do
Yeah,
over there.
right.
But so we kind of teamed up and kind of worked together.
Great.
So it's
So
worked out well.
I think what's fortunate in your regard is that a lot of the business that you're doing has come to you. You've attracted it in a certain respect,
yeah.
as
Yeah.
opposed to knocking on doors and things. So I think that what it says is your reputation precedes you in a certain respect. That they know that Jeff's the guy when it comes to all your printing and graphics needs.
Yeah. I try very hard to, I guess, be customer first or customer friendly or
Yeah.
however you want to word that.
Right.
But I say this a lot to people is like, we're all in the same fishbowl,
All right.
Mm-hmm.
Whether you like it or not.
whether you like it or not.
Right.
So there's enough stuff out there to do without, beating everyone up and so on and so forth.
Yeah.
So,
I love that.
I enjoy it. I enjoy
Jeff, that's a great
hanging out with
philosophy.
people.
That's
Yeah.
a great philosophy, and I think that's what makes this town great, because I think a lot of people embrace that.
Yeah.
philosophy. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? And that's what's nice, and that's what's special. I'd love for you to come back and join us again at
Oh,
some
absolutely.
point in the
Yeah.
future, because there's things that we didn't even touch at all that I wanted to kind of touch base on. But we really established who Coastal Graphics is, who the man Jeff Miner is behind it, you know, and his allegiances. You know, he is a Bear, but he lives in Westerly.
Yeah.
A number of years.
Oh,
so.
hey, how do you feel about this? Your son's senior night at Westerly High School for baseball will
Yeah.
be against the Bears.
Oh, really?
Is it?
Is that a sanctioned game?
It is.
Maybe for them,
I'm
not for
pretty
us.
sure it's senior night. Hold on.
But you got the
I
schedule.
think you're correct because it was Hendricken.
May 22nd.
It was Hendricken, but it got switched. So I think,
Yeah,
I
it's
think
the
you're
last
correct.
game of the
How
last game of the
ironic.
season, 6:30, May 22nd, Westerly versus Stonington.
There we go.
And they are doing a scrimmage, I think, like
Tomorrow night.
tomorrow night.
Tomorrow night. Yeah.
We will not
Yeah.
be covering that. We don't cover the scrimmages, but
All right.
yeah. So and now who are you going to root for? And who's your wife? More importantly, who does your wife
no-brainer,
root
right?
for? Who does your wife root for in the situation?
Yeah, you're
of
right. You said
Bulldogs
your wife's
versus
more
Bears?
brown.
well, she's rooting for
But it's blood.
she's rooting for Zach. So
Yeah, it's blood. Blood makes a big difference, let me tell you.
yeah.
And I think that as there was a point I was going to make about the Stonington Westerly aspect, and I lost it, but that's okay.
Yeah.
We'll talk about next time when you get on. But as far as business and getting in touch with Jeff, how about a phone number someone can call and reach you?
I mean, you can reach me 401-742-1156.
Yeah.
There you go.
Kids nowadays, the younger generation, they're all about texting and the website. You know what I mean? The non-verbal, you know what I mean? But whatever. So you have all methods.
All
Social media, the number you just gave out, as well as the
website.
website.
Yeah.
And what's great about the website, it's going to show some of the work and things.
There's
as
some
well.
there's some photos on there. Yeah, absolutely. In Google review, there's a bunch of photos on there too. So yeah.
Great. Perfect.
Yeah.
By the way, we have to schedule a time to come down and shoot a commercial for you. So
Yes.
I'm excited for that. Whatever you want to, honestly, if you have a project coming up where you're like, hey, we got this cool vehicle that we're wrapping, or whatever, that'll just, you tell me when and we'll send a crew
Okay.
down.
Cool.
But thank you so much. Our official post-game sponsor for 321 here in Westerly, and just an all-around incredible human being.
Whoa. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Man, you're going to
Well,
be a
that-
saint.
I know.
You got
That's
big
a lot to
shoes to
live
fill.
up to.
And I think
Right.
now,
Just got a little uncomfortable in here.
now the commercial that we're making for you, is that also going to air this summer? Maybe
I'd
at
love
the-
to have it at the drive-in. Yeah,
So
yeah,
now,
yeah.
do you think
Oh,
that that's
sure.
going to make your daughter uncomfortable if we put your face on it? Like, I want your face 30 feet tall,
Yeah,
just looking down at her as she works at the drive-in.
that'd
think
be
that'll
awesome.
be great.
Is that a summer job for your daughter?
Well, it is. It is.
Okay.
Although she's looking for an internship now because of
Well,
her,
right.
college and stuff. So
Is she a junior?
she's a junior.
Yeah.
Yeah. I can't. Time is.
She's
What's
finishing
she?
up her
What's she
junior.
looking for an internship in? What'd she go to school for?
It's a school bus.
She is in.
I thought I was in trouble.
I did too. I thought
Come out with your hands up.
I'm dumb.
Right now, she's in business.
Okay.
So, and anything along that line, that's what she's looking for. So yeah.
Does she want to take this over? Because I'm terrible at it.
No, you're not.
The
Come
bus-
on.
the
Well,
business.
I think
aspect of
she
it.
may stay in Boston. Who knows?
Yeah. Well,
I don't know about that.
Yeah, she may not want
She's
to.
a Wesley girl. She may come back. I don't know.
Okay. Well,
She may stay. I don't know.
a lot of
I
options.
guess it all
All right.
depends.
well. I mean, I know 2 of your 3 kids, and they're both great. So I'm sure that the third one is excellent as well.
Yeah, usually that's the case. Although there's some black sheeps once in a while.
No.
You know what I mean?
No.
you
She's-
think he's
she's
gonna
hard.
say that, right?
She's
You
hard.
know what? The third one, terrible.
So that's right.
It's Caitlin, right?
Caitlin.
Gosh.
Yeah, my oldest. Yeah.
Yeah.
Love it.
She's
Love
going
it.
for a master's degree. So
Amen.
Awesome.
she's in school. So
Oh, that's great.
Awesome. Very cool. Thank you so much, Jeff, for being here.
Thanks, guys. I appreciate you having me.
And thanks for being on CI,
CI.
Community Insight.
I'm gonna make Ben a shirt that says "Welcome to CI."
If you make me a shirt with his face on it doing that, I'll throw it away. But
Probably will, but I'll keep it. I'll take it out of the trash.
Can you make him a shirt with his
Oh,
face on it?
gosh.
doing
Oh,
that?
absolutely.
Yeah, that'll be that. There we go. There we go.
That's right.
All right. Thanks,
For a
everybody.
price.
Yeah.
Go see Jeff at Coastal Graphics.
Fantastic.
We'll see
All right,
you soon.
everybody.
See ya.
So
Thank you.
long.
Experience local excellence with Roofright Roofing in Charlestown, Rhode Island. With over 40 years of unmatched expertise, Roofright specializes in architectural shingles and holds the prestigious title of GAF Master Elite Installers. Known for their commitment to the community and support for local initiatives, Roofright is your trusted partner for all of your home's roofing needs. Call today for a free estimate at 401-212-4140.
Hi, this is Dan from Lathrop Insurance. In this challenging insurance environment, Lathrop Insurance can be your beacon in the storm to help you find the coverage you need at the right price. Now, more than ever, you need a partner in the insurance industry that can work with multiple carriers to make sure you have the right coverage at the right price. Lathrop Insurance carries home, auto, and business insurance and can be reached at 401-596-2525. We've been supporting the local community since 1939, and we look forward to working with you.
What's going on, everybody? It's Patrick down here at the Wireless Zone at Dunn's Corners at 224 Post Road, and everybody down here is getting the brand new iPhone 16. We have it here in stock. The best part is right now, if you trade in your old phone, you get it for free. We got deals all weekend, awesome savings. Come on down and see us, 224 Post Road, Dunn's Corners, Verizon Wireless Zone. We'll see you soon.
D&V Mechanical specializes in the installation, maintenance, and servicing of Mitsubishi Ductless mini split heat pump systems. We are certified by Mitsubishi as Diamond Elite Contractors and factory trained and up to date on the proper procedure of the installation and service of Mitsubishi Ductless heating and air conditioning ductless heat pumps. We assist with the paperwork to reduce much of the stress-related documentation required to get the state rebates and federal tax incentives. We are not a jack-of-all-trades, master-of-nothing company. We are masters of ductless heat pumps. It's what we do, and it's what we know.